send me the link where?
Yeah, I'm just gonna tag you. I can. Do you want me to email it to you, or you just want me to tag you on Twitter?
I'll watch it when you tag. If you
Yeah, yeah.
email it just in
I'll
case
just do it right now.
I miss it, because I got
Okay.
a tag every 3 seconds. Actually, hold on. What's
What's what?
your name on Twitter?
It's Live Hyped. So it's LIVEHIPED. So like my
Oh,
hyped up here,
right.
Live Hyped. I just
Okay.
tagged you. So if you could retweet the first link or like the live one.
Did you email?
Let me just do that real quick. Copy link.
Tag. Live with Mario. Gentle
Okay.
Tornado.
I just sent. Yeah. That's me.
Got it.
All right, sweet. Cool. I'm gonna play a short theme song, like 20 seconds, and then we'll get into it.
Cool. Sounds good.
We're riding. Hype happy hour, talking about life, so you might feel empowered. Hype happy hour, tornado on the mic with a guest giving power. Hype happy hour, tools, interviews provide life tapping power. Hype happy hour, positive and light with advice, build your tower.
Hello. We are on Hyped Happy Hour, episode 34, with my man Mario Nawfal. I am Gentle Tornado, and I am on a journey to spread positivity and make it louder. I created a company called Hyped. Hyped is an acronym that stands for happiness, inspiration, positivity, enthusiasm, and dreams. And if you look down at the logo in the bottom left, I have an H with a heartbeat in the middle, because we never know how many heartbeats we have. So here at Hyped, I am focused on just spreading good energy and making every single moment count. I am joined on episode 34 by an absolute stud, a man that is just a go-getter, motivator, runs a massive Twitter space, runs a massive business. Mario, how are you doing, my guy?
Good having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we started off with what we're grateful for today. So what are you grateful for?
And do you see the view? Where I have no GZ. I have binoculars. I'll show you one of them. Because
Oh,
whenever I get time, I sit there watching birds. So that's like what gives me. I used to back in the day morning. Now I woke up at literally because my sleeping pattern is time zone. But when I used to wake up, hundreds of birds in the lake, and I just watch them before going to bed.
dude, that's epic. No, that's sick view, dude. That you just wake up to that and you sit, and then at any moment you could just basically turn around and look at that, and that's just kind of like a breath of fresh air.
Something to be grateful for.
Absolutely. So the way we started off with is like a 2 to 3 minute kind of origin story, like who's Mario Nawfal? You know, maybe where did you come from? How did you get into Web3? Kind of just a story about you.
Yeah, man. Business. I launched a business called Farmers Business. Anyone that Google is doing really well, a couple of dozen countries manage it. But that's the first business crypto in 2017 with nothing. And then 27 with IBC, but I was already thanks to Fruity. He blew up and got scammed in 2018, licked my wounds in 2019. He launched NFT Tech, which company also in crypto, became a partner at Internet. And 2020, I am where I am. IBC, doing these Twitter space.
Yeah, so tell me what it's like to run these Twitter Spaces. I mean, you've had Elon come in 3 or 4 times now. I mean, what is that like for you?
It's exhausting, man. Like the rush of getting Elon or Mark Andreessen or CZ have come over the last few months, and so we have politicians rock up, and which is really. I used to get that rush, and because it's just the way you get the premier of chief of staff of the US, the son of the president. That was, but I don't get that rush anymore. Now making sure that the smoothly, like I hit these guys, so my goal room runs smoothly. We never, we are never another. Like my goal is to be possible at all times. My main focus. Hosting, man, not because I'm working, but because my sleep is screwed. That's it. I'm gonna have to move to the US. Just live with this new sleeping pattern.
Yeah, for sure. So you're really considering moving to the US?
In Marina Del Rey, I love the States. Like I finally really like my view. I know I used to do it every morning. States. I'm in Dubai. I have nice routines every day, but you're not giving me chances in the US. But as well, sometimes I do space like really early morning. I'm not in, and so I don't know, man. Like an audience is starting to pick up as well. It just depends because I don't do spaces, but my main focus is. So if I don't decide when a missile might land, or when some I've got arrested 2 days ago, like I didn't call them and say guys PM because I'm sleeping to wake me up at times to do these. I swear, like I'm like a breaking now, unintentionally.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think like for me last Friday, so it must have been Saturday for you, but you guys were reading the Twitter files and it was just kind of crazy. You guys were saying like this is the fastest way to get like you guys are reporting the news the fastest way and I was just kind of mind blown to be like in there there's probably 50, 60,000 people and like that's kind of priceless. So like if you were to move here like for sure it would be pretty crazy. I think it would amplify it for sure.
The US, I think, will continue being. We'll see. We'll see. I'm now, and I really miss the whole US culture, another country.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, for sure, man. Well, I think whatever you do will be great and it'll work out for sure. So what we do here is we bridge the gap between personal life. So we highlight people they're extraordinary in the Web3 space, and we bridge the gap between personal life and Web3. So we go word by word within Hype. So the first word is happiness. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna read my favorite definition of success. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So as what is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. Have you ever heard that, Mario?
Never heard that definition.
What do you think of it?
Like it's a cool differs from one person. Some people find so selfish greed, and not caring about. Others find success and feeling always. There's another among people and differs that determines between one person or another. If someone listening right now figure out them is the word happy, which is in your title. Happiness is probably the easiest success, is just being happy. How the hell are you going to be happy? Figure it out. Once you figure out the recipe for your success, success, you'll focus on the right things. Use me as an example. Me happy's momentum. It's not dancing. It's not the view. Definitely not. It's feeling like I'm growing. Whether it's my business, trying different countries and dancing, seeing my spaces. But as long as momentum, that's dangerous. But keep progress and momentum for the rest of my life, sustainable, and there will be down. Then what happens to that if my momentum, then my momentum stops. What if I want to take a break? But at least I know what it is. So if anyone listening, if you're happy, successful, what's success to you? It's incredibly powerful self-awareness.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like everybody defines their own success and their own happiness, and you have to figure that out. And so, like for you, it's momentum, and for me, it could be waking up and seeing my kids, right? So it's all whatever you figure out, and when you do figure out that, the self awareness behind it brings just so much power in your life.
I don't have kids, but like I'm real. Like, do you really get that with the kids? Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think like it's hard to explain, man. When I held my first son, so I have three boys, and when I held my first son, it was kind of like I just knew like I was gonna do everything for him, for them, for the rest of my life, and I almost got like this different energy. I've always been a hard worker. I've always been motivated. I've always been pretty successful, but like it was different when I had my son. I was just like, it was almost like it's on me now to take care of him, and yeah, I do it all for them for sure.
That's crazy. Like, and I get fascinated to have kids, but it's need to consider.
Yeah.
I'm always curious to see how it's tricky, man. Like I'd love anyone else. I'm not kidding. Let me know. I think let me know in the comments. How does it really? How does it? I'm just checking out the comment, but some people are saying I'm choppy. No, that was 5 minutes.
Maybe let me see.
Saying I'm choppy. Just FYI.
Yeah. You want to try to?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. Shit. Should we? Let me see. It says you're choppy.
I can see that there's one sound Mario's choppy. And there you go.
Yeah, his mic keeps cutting out.
It's my mic.
That's what they said. They said Mario's mic keeps cutting.
Because I use this as the mic.
That's crazy.
My AirPods, but I don't expect it.
You want to try it? You said you do have your AirPods. Do you want to try that just in case, or?
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll get better. But can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
How is it?
That's better. That's better for sure.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm actually just using a speaker, so we'll do it this way then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, man. You sound good. All right. So yeah, man, my kids are everything to me. So it's interesting that you're interested in that. I think like a lot of parents, like it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I just like look at them and I'm like, fuck, I gotta just be good for them, because I'm their number one influence. So like it's my job to mold them and to show them like the world.
Imagine having kids, man. It's just so scary. Yeah.
All right, listen, on the first question under happiness is what makes you happy every single day?
Peace of mind. No joke. Like I've been through so much. Waking up and just knowing that, hey, I look at my phone, there's no shit going on. Like I can wake up, go do my biohacking, listen to my podcast, normal day. Nothing beats that.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think that's amazing for sure when you're just kind of at ease and you're flowing through life. I'm glad that you said that. That's cool, man. What's the happiest moment of your life?
Oh, man. I've had it a few times, and that's the feeling of knowing that I'm financially. Now I know it sounds silly, but I cannot think better. Why? Because everything revolves around it. It's what puts food on the table, and including my family in a country that's very poor. It's what put my partner's family. It's what puts what allows me to live the life I live. Well, for my employees to live their life. So it's like my whole life needs money. When I know I'm financially well off, not for me personally, but my company is employees. When that's set, I don't have to worry about that. Now, I've had that feeling in 2015, 16, before in 2018. So that's the feeling I had. And then I had it again that I'm set for life. Now, it doesn't matter how wealthy you become. We were talking about Elon Musk earlier. Even Elon was at one stage, I can't remember the year 2000. He was days away from, I can't remember the details, but potential bankrupt, and then raise money, I think, from Warren Buffett. I could be recollecting the story completely. Yeah, that financial stability for me is like, I cannot take the risks that Elon, and I cannot do it. I need that peace of mind.
No, that's cool, man. I think like you said, like being able to support your business and your family and stuff like that. And where are you from originally?
I was born in Lebanon, and then I might as a child to Australia. I was very young. I think I was like 10 years old, 9 years old. So I've lived all my life in Australia and Melbourne, and started traveling the world about 6 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy. And you're in Dubai right now, you said?
Yeah, man. I finally, last year is the first time I have a home. I got this place here. This one and one next to it is 12 bedroom, and my business partner's team. And I had to leave this place for security purposes during the FTX and the whole FTX implosion. I had to leave this place for a bit just to be safe. But yeah, it's as safe as it gets.
No, that's awesome. When you did the first, one of the first, like the biggest ones you did was the 40, you did 48 hours, right? With the FTX thing. Was that how long you did it? Or
I stayed up for over 40 hours. That was insane. Space, because the space would crash every 10, 15 hours, and we have to restart it again because it's glitchy. That was intense, and I didn't want, like, every time I'm like, all right guys, we're gonna end the space. My co-host, like, bing, breaking news. We just see it getting hacked, and then a few hours later, all right guys, like 10 hours later, I'm gonna go to sleep, guys. Breaking news: a missile just landed in Poland. I repeat, a missile, and they thought initially it was a Russian missile. And during the G20 summit, I'm like, shit.
I do remember that. Yeah. I was listening to that when the missile thing. I was like, no way, dude. They've been going so hard. Like, you were like, I just keep drinking coffee. I'm doing good right now. You were like hour 36 or something. I was like, dude, this is insane. You're an absolute legend. I was
Man,
like,
I couldn't eat. I had to host the room, so I couldn't eat. And in terms of like, this is serious shit. Like, this is getting a missile. And this, again, it was unclear at the beginning, but that's your missile landing into NATO. Now, obviously, it's more likely to be a mistake, but if it's not, this is some scary shit now. Even if I don't want it to, even if there is no space, I need to know whether I need to go back to bunker or something.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. So, do you trade any NFTs at all? Are you involved in any, do you have any NFTs? Do you trade? Maybe not frequently, but have you in the past?
No, I don't personally trade at all. I've never traded. I'm really bad at trading. And NFTs and just hold them for a long period of time. We're more invested in the infrastructure itself. So we might invest in an NFT marketplace, or we might invest in it to function. Because NFTs is not just collectibles and pictures. NFTs is digital ownership. It could be anything, to your identity, to a spaceship in a game. It could be anything. It's just the concept of owning something. If I need to define it further for the audience, but so that's the concept of NFTs. And NFT, whether we trade NFTs, a lot of people trade the JPEGs, the art NFTs. We may maybe in the future have a department that does, but for now, model where we just invest and hold for 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's definitely good. I mean, trading the JPEGs is fun, I think, for a lot of people, but the infrastructure is what really, I think, matters as far as the future for Web3 and the future for NFTs.
Look how weird. Look how I swear, and no matter how, it doesn't matter what, it's always been like this. You see my beard? I'm not shaving because I'm not having time. Can you see like a little circle here?
Yeah.
I get hair. I can never get hair here. So I can never have a proper beard. I look like a clown with like 2 circles. It's the weirdest thing. I hate it, bro. I can never get a fucking beard. Man, I can never be a real man.
No, that is pretty funny.
I'm looking myself in the mirror and I'm seeing those patches shining because of the light on the interview, but I'm like, I'm seeing those fucking circles there. It's annoying. Sorry, bro.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't think anybody noticed until now. So now that you put a spotlight on it, that's probably what they're going to be watching. But yeah, I can't grow a beard either. My dad couldn't grow a beard till he was like 50, so I got a long time to go. I can grow like a neck beard, but nobody wants to see that, so I don't do that.
I'm not lying. I feel better. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yes. All right, let's move into inspiration. So I just want to say that you inspire me, man, through your Twitter Spaces. I think like just what you're doing and what you're trying to structure has really changed the Twitter Spaces game. And I know that you said like that's not your only focus, but I think like you've really changed the game and getting Elon on. So I just want to say you inspire me. And then I wanted to say, like, what is one lesson in your life you've had to learn the hard way?
Oh. Every lesson had to be hard. I had a lot of bad luck. Invincible, that's the big one. So when I made my initial wealth business a long time ago, the e-commerce business, it got to $1 million in the first year and 10 million, and out of nowhere. So it took me a while. In my mind, I still wasn't like the word millionaire didn't even click. I still lived a very, nothing changed, literally nothing. I just did run my business. But then I was, was making millions. But then what happened is like 5 years into it, 4 or 5 years into it, I was in Germany at the time. I was in a hotel in Berlin that overlooked. And I was sitting there thinking, man, hold on, invincible now. I can do anything I want. I will never have to worry about money again. I started also wanting to more. I'm like, but I still have a long way to go. Look at these guys, he's $1 million a year. This guy's a billionaire. And I realized I've actually like myself to the 99.99% of the people that don't have the grateful, which I had to train myself to be. I started comparing myself to that 0.001%. Then I started wanting more. So then I had the feeling of wanting to be more, wanting to make more money together, because then I would take unnecessary and illogical risk. And that led to 2018. In 2018, kind of all caught up to me in that same year, and because I didn't pay attention, by someone I trusted to run the business. Also screwed by a supplier. My second best-selling product is halted, and the business, all the stock became useless because the supplier breached their agreement. Without getting into, I was diagnosed with a tumor, brain tumor, and it was bleeding at the time, and military adenoma, and apparently I needed urgent surgery. I ended up not needing it initially. So that kind of all caught up to me, from feeling invincible to both my 2018, just getting screwed like crazy. And then on a personal level, I was also going through a major crisis. Man,
yeah,
like literally nobody's invincible. And there's a perfect example of Sam from FT. I was the god of crypto, the idol of the industry, his best friend. And people were calling him the Warren Buffett of crypto. No joke. Only $12-14 billion. Like, you cannot have a better life. You cannot imagine within a couple of years, like 3-4 years. And he got to where months ago. And 3 months ago, and yesterday, not a fugitive anymore. Now he's arrested. So I realized that literally nobody's invincible.
Yeah. I mean, that's a crazy story. I think 2018 was a wild year, but what was your recovery with the brain thing? What was that with the brain tumor? What was that like?
And that was not that hard, because I all I had to do was osteonex. But the first 2 days were really tough because I was being asked to do everything, and if I kept bleeding, I might go blind. It's actually on video where I'm bleeding. I'm having if your tumor is bleeding, you're going to get a migraine. So I'm getting a migraine, and I'm just telling his name is Francois. I'm like, Francois, I have a headache. It's so weird because I never get headache. It's so weird. It's like my head hurts, but I can't control it. It's just such a weird feeling. And he's laughing. He's like, Mario, welcome to my life. It was a very weird feeling for me. And I would go photo shoot that day. I walked around in cafes working. I filmed. I did an interview, a podcast interview. I remember the guy was like telling me to do this and do different things. So I had to go to hospital. And I didn't know this whole time I was bloody bleeding. Like blood wasn't insane. How insane is that? And then at the hospital, they didn't do an MRI scan. They did a CT scan. Nothing. They're like, you're fine. Because it didn't show on the CT scan. You need to do an MRI. It's just a migraine. I'm like, guys, can I do an MRI scan? They're like, you don't need it. I had to convince him to do an MRI scan. It could have had significant damage.
That's crazy, dude, that you had to convince him to do the MRI.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of worms, how to deal with It's just there's so many different biases, human biases that impact the recommendations they on COVID. I'm freaking out. It's going to be a really tough one. And I know for a fact that we're going to get space today and future spaces about COVID. Some of the smartest doctors were trying to get Fauci himself. We were talking about for a fact that these intelligent doctors will all disagree in one way or another, whether something. Why? A human brain. There's just so many biases involved. Now, how do you fix that? Ray Dalio talks about it. So you always ask 3 to 4 specialists and find somewhere in the middle that they all agree on, and that's the best thing to do. For the tumor, was the same. I spoke with one from Canada, one from the US, one from London, or one from Australia, I think. Yeah, Canada, London, and Australia. And they all gave me advice. One needed surgery, and then I ended up just taking that medicine called Dostinex. Now the tumor is gone.
Yeah, what a crazy story. Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. I think it's cool because, like, when you think about just everybody in general, like, everybody's going through different shit, and it's like kind of what you said about the invincible thing. Like, you never know, right? Like, you could have had this brain tumor, and I could have had like a super situation with my son or something, and it could have been like, we were going through crazy stuff. So, yeah, dude, that's crazy, man, that you went through that. What do you love about Web3 and NFT, the NFT infrastructure that inspires you to want to do it every day?
You got to understand the definition of NFTs in Web3. As I said earlier, it's digital ownership. So the same way I own these AirPods because they're with me, physics allows me to own them. Virtually or digitally, you couldn't own anything in 2017. The only way to own something was for a central company to say you own it, a bank, JP Morgan to say you own these numbers on a screen. So the central place, like games, for example, to say that you own this gun, but technically you don't really own it. It's like they own it and that game is gone. So now that you can technologically own something, on the block, it's easier to own something digitally than it is physically now. It's that simple. And it worms. You can have an entire virtual life. So in that digital world and own things as well. So now that you can everything is starting to move to a world that we spend time in at a much playing a game. Now you can play a game. So I'm just gonna fix my position a bit. It's a bit more comfortable. Now you can play a game and own your assets. You can move them from one game to another. If you have an identity, you can have that as an NFT and that move it from one country to another. So it's just opened up a massive economy, and for me, just financially, it just makes so much sense in that world, in that Web3 world, avoiding all the hype, like things like FTX and no business impact whatsoever on what we do long term.
Yeah, no, I think like the future is going to get crazy, and I think like just the tech and what we're seeing and what it's going to evolve into is really an exciting thing. So I love that you touched on that, because like people are going to have this virtual world where they have everything in it, and they're going to be able to go to different places or transfer stuff. So that's what makes me super excited. Like the evolution and what we're going to see over these next 5 to 7 years is probably just going to be mind blowing. And that's what's going to be super awesome. What is your favorite inspirational movie?
You need to ask me in advance those questions.
No, it's good. It's good when it's off the top of the head.
I'm gonna go with Scent of a Woman by Al Pacino. But the reason I'm using it is that I used to be very introverted, and I would watch Scent of Al Pacino's person. I used to be very different to what I am now. When I was Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino's person, he's very extroverted, a more extroverted person, but it also helped me get into dancing. So Al Pacino, and that's what triggered me to get into tango, and that led me to get into salsa dancing, which is like my second life. So that probably had the most influence on me as the answer to the question.
No, I think that's great. That's a great answer for sure.
Have you seen the movie, by the way?
I haven't, but I'm gonna watch it for sure. I love Al Pacino, so
watch it, man. It's a sick movie, movie, but sick movie. It's a blind general who lost his eyesight, suicidal, but a kid came in to help him out to live like his last week. The kid not knowing that you could see like his personality. And there's a scene on YouTube. You could just go on YouTube. There's one scene where he's speaking at a school, hearing the kid, but his way of delivering a message, his way of speaking, kind of inspired me to speaking and getting me to where I am today, where I speak around the world.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm excited.
Like it's crazy. Like when people try to figure out, a lot of people ask, "What made you who you are?" And everyone entrepreneur. What people don't understand is that you're impacted by so many factors around you that it could be a weird ass movie you saw on TV. It could be a friend of yours. It could be something you saw, something your dad would say every night that will impact you for the rest of your life. You just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
For a fact, Santa Woman probably played a key part in where I am today and how my personality.
No, I love it. I love
young.
it. And I think like the coolest thing for me doing this podcast, man, is like having all my guests on where like I'm just taking things from them. Like I'm almost getting more value, I think, than the viewers. Cause like I'm just like one-on-one with these amazing people and just being able to steal things from them and be like, okay, how am I going to use this to level myself up? And so like what you said, like little things like that, man, like I'm excited to watch it. So that's badass for sure. Let's move into positivity. So I'm a big positivity guy, man. My thing on Twitter is like, I'm going to make positivity louder every single day. I'm doing my best to spread positivity to the entire world. We're surrounded by a lot of negativity. So in positivity, we focus on like positive mindset. So just the basic definition of positive mindset that I like is that it's the practice of focusing on the good in any situation. So that doesn't mean you're delusional, right? Bad stuff happens. But can you tell me about like maybe your positive mindset, how you've cultivated that and how that's helped you succeed in your business life and in real life?
It's so cheesy. Like be positive, be positive, be so true and so powerful. No, like this is coming from some aggressive nature. When you talk to my team members, I'm very, it's a very talking to people. And you wouldn't, when you see me walking around and stuff, I'm very antisocial. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna like when the taxi talks to me in Dubai, they don't do it, but in another country in Eastern Europe, and I used to go there, taxis want to speak to you, and I pretend because I just don't want to talk to people. You might look at me as like, this guy is the most negative fucking. Not even close, man. Not even close. I hate stress. I hate negativity. My quote is, why have enemies when you can have friends? I've had people that hate on me that I don't give a fuck and chat to me because they'll jump into my space. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'm so over this. I just don't have time. And anyone that's negative, completely ignore them. I can't be bothered. Like, the person I live with, my dance partner, these people that are like you. She's the female version of you. Always have exactly that. So I'm dating you, gentle version of you. And it's the best thing in the world, man. That positive is the best thing in the world. So if you're listening to this and you're not able to, like, you're ever negative at someone, you got to work on yourself as number one, and number two, try to find someone who's positive and try to have that. One of the most important things you could do. Like, fuck negativity. I block it out.
Let's go.
And I have to deal with stress. Like, I'm managing all these people. I'm in crypto, for God's sake. Like, I try to kind of delegate it, and I have a stoic mindset as well. The great book is recommended.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I think like unfortunately, like we're a lot of our society around the whole world is so negative, and so like it's easy to fall into that. But when you just blast positivity in your life, like everything's better. Like everything's better. You focus on so many good things, and like things can happen all the time, but like they're lessons, right? It's like, look at your brain tumor. Like those are things like with the business and all that, like, you can take the good out of that and then level yourself up to make a positive change in your life to then not to let that happen again. Right. And so I think like the benefits of positivity are just like crazy. And a lot of people, like you said, like they don't want to, admit it, like, positivity is cliche or something, but like it is so important in life to have that and to really like amplify that.
A role in health. Like if you're not positive, if you're negative, it's going to impact your health, whether you like it or not. Like, other than dancing and business, health is number one. Business is number two. And avoiding stress is trying to live a long, healthy life.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it for sure. That's fucking awesome. Let's go. We're just gonna go right into enthusiasm, man. I'm a big energy in the space. I do a gratitude day video every single day. I get pretty loud. I got a lot of energy. So, I love enthusiasm. And I think like it stems from my gratitude of like we have one life. So we have one opportunity at this. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm just ready to just crush it. So this is one of my favorite questions. What are 3 things right now in your life that you're obsessed with?
You gotta prepare me, Tornado. You gotta prepare me with this shit. You gotta do what?
What are the three things right now in your life that you're obsessed with?
Obsessed with? Oh, easy actually. My bad. I'm actually gonna go health. So much that I want to live as long as possible. So I didn't mention business because business to allow me to achieve a long, healthy biohacking and stuff. So business is for that. It's by far the biggest one. That's why I mentioned it 3 times. I can mention business as another one. Just dancing as a third one, because we mentioned them earlier. 3 core pillars of my life, because I don't do anything else. I don't go to the movies. I don't have a beer with my friends. I don't legs. I don't even go like do all the tourism stuff. Never went tourism. I said I just rather live a long life, and even if that life is just watching YouTube shorts and watch all in front of my eyes, that's entertaining enough to live long.
Yeah, no, I love it. What give the audience a health hack, maybe something you've learned on your health journey that can help them.
We did that. The guy was like a complete nut when it came to biohacking, like obsessed and in depth. There's just so many. Like for example, today after this interview, I've got to do my routine, which is, and usually I would do them earlier, but my sleeping pattern is fucked up. Full body cryo and NAD drips. I don't have time, but cryo, infrared sauna. There's a chamber. Things called infrared chamber, but it first costs a lot of money, and not many people have access to them. So hacks that you could do right now that are more important: sleeping well, so important. Eating well, avoiding sugar, avoiding burnt food, and avoiding processed food. So, and stress, avoiding stress, like being happy, like you, or at least having, isn't gentle, and by your side is and surrounding yourself with people. Studies show that loneliness kills more people than drugs. So these 3 things, will probably avoiding alcohol is obviously important, but getting drunk. But these 3 things are especially the cutting sugar and cutting burnt food, they're very, very powerful. So if someone does those things, you're chill. Like you're doing 90% of what you need.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it.
Fasting,
can you tell me a little bit about your
fasting is powerful, bro. Fasting every day. 50-minute fasting very, very powerful.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. Can you tell me a little bit about your dancing? Because that seems to be a passion of yours.
Yeah, man. Like if you go check my bachata, which is the dance I do, I get invited everywhere, like from Ukraine to Morocco to Germany and France, to dance to shoes and dance with my dance partner who's downstairs. I haven't danced for the last 4 months just because my life kind of changed a lot. But I used to dance on a very regular basis. I used to travel at least. Like I was meant to be in Spain at a festival, but I cancelled. I was meant to be in Lithuania. I love dancing, bro. I love it.
Let's go. Yeah, I think dancing is so good for the soul. I think it's like one of the best things, man. It's just like so nice. Such good energy.
Yep, and you meet girls. I used because my dance you have a girl. You don't dance it alone. So it's like a hack for me to emotionally like, meeting girls without having to go and because I'm very obsessed with saying more before than now. So without having to to meet a girl randomly Tinder, to go on Tinder, meet a girl, go have a boring coffee because I don't like very boring to me. Instead, like I can dance with any random girl. She's cool. I like her, and we get to know each other. And it's a way to connect, bro. Like it's such a sensual dance. If someone doesn't know bachata, leave. What a beautiful dance it is. I've converted so many people to bachata, including people in my. Right now, I can travel anywhere in the world, like this minute, even in Dubai, and I can find a bachata party. I don't know because I'm an artist, but even if I wasn't an artist, I can go there, dance with a random girl, away, to music, 2-3 songs, and then dance with another girl and another girl, and it's just such an incredible world that's way underrated.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's crazy. It's good. It's cool that you were there, that you were an introvert and that helped you in that aspect and just kind of like getting you out there, but also connecting on a different level with different people. And so I love that. What was the most exciting moment for you in Web3 so far?
I'd say taking NFT tech public. So one of my companies in European stock exchange. And what was cool is I was speaking in Davos at the World Economic Forum. So we took it public. My team was there in Canada ringing the bell. How you ring that? But New York, they did it for Canada, and they were there ringing it. And I joined through video to take NFT tech public. And I was like in Davos at the top of my hotel with a beautiful view. It's just it was a very cool day. So I put that as well since getting into Web3.
That's awesome. When was that?
Davos was early this year, March this year, I think, or January even.
That's awesome. That's cool, man. That's cool. Do you think that one of the questions under enthusiasm that I have is the biggest accomplishment of your life, but do you think that is like what you said earlier with the financial freedom? Or do you have a different accomplishment you'd like to tell people about?
Man, like if you'd be like surprised, but also intrigued as to how I am who I am. Zero comparison to how I was. Zero. Myself from the way I speak right now to the things that I'm saying to the way I think. I'm very self-aware and never biased when I think. I'm obsessed with that. To my positivity, I had to build all these characteristics block by block as a leg. Man, when I migrated to Australia, I didn't speak English, I spoke French. I knew nobody, and I would move house to house, city to city nonstop. So I was literally like a blank check, and I had to build everything ever since then. So my biggest accomplishment is just being who I am today, it so much sacrifice to build it up, which includes my business and my ability.
No, I think it's funny is that you said that is like one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on was because I do a very different like style podcast compared to like a lot of the Web3 crypto podcasts. And so, I kind of wanted to get to know Mario, but asking these questions that you probably maybe haven't been asked a lot. And so I think like that's a beautiful thing that you were able to say that. And I think like the journey is always so incredible. So yeah, no, I love it. Let's move into dreams. You're probably not going to like this question, but I think you're going to crush it. So I love dreams. I think dreaming big is very important. And so what we do is I read you the dream that I have for my life, and then I'm going to have you off your dome tell me the dream that you have for your life. So I'll tell you mine. Okay, so I'm Gentle Tornado. I am an honest, enthusiastic, and successful man that will inspire others to live their life through happiness.
So I'm Mario. My dream, you're not gonna like mine. You're not gonna like mine. Dream is to live as long as possible. Forever, but that's impossible. And be comfortable to watch humanity evolve. Crazy, but that's my.
No, I like it. I liked it.
I
Yeah.
want to live as long as possible. I don't need a fucking, crazy life. I just want to be comfortable. I just wake up and just watch what I don't care what I'm going through YouTube Shorts today and check, or in 5 years time putting my goggles going into the metaverse. I don't really see humans change. Now, I hope we don't have a world war. Like imagine I end up like there's a way that I end up experiencing humanity kill itself again. So that doesn't. It's a weird vision, it's a weird dream, but that's all I can think of.
No, I like it. I think you want to see like the world evolve and you want to be here for a really long time. And it's kind of like what you said, right? Like you're obsessed with health. So I think that aligns with, things in your life right now. So, and definitely what you're doing, on Twitter and with your business is like reporting all this stuff and, being kind of like this information gathering platform of all that. So, all right. So how we end it is you get to, oh, fuck. Oh, you're going to be blown away. I got to read you my favorite poem, dude. I'm going to share my screen. I almost forgot. Sorry. This is literally the best thing ever. So it's called The Dash. It's by Linda Ellis. So it says, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her casket from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what is true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Did you flip your screen? Wait. I can't hear you and your screen's flipped. Oh man, you read one of the most important parts of the show. Your boy goes 0 dark 30 on us. Oh man, this show's absolutely sponsored by absolutely nobody. So if anybody wants to sponsor Hyped Happy Hour podcast, let me know. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh no, how do we lose your audio? That's wild. It was totally fine. Oh man, like I said, if anybody wants to sponsor Hyped Happy Hour podcast, let me know. Currently outside right now. It's about 30 degrees. Doing this outside. That's how much I'm grinding. Let's go. We're riding. We are riding. Was he back? Is he back? He might be back. Send him a new link. Oh, there we go.
It's working now.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
I like everything you said because the reason it cut out because I was trying to zoom in. I think something happened. But I like everything. That's not like no. This goes against what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah, the poem. Yeah, I was like, you went 0 dark 30 right after the poem. I was like, no way. So you liked it? You liked the poem?
I liked it.
Yeah, let's go. All right, listen. So how we end it is you get to leave the audience with one final thought. So it could be anything, and then you get to ask them a question.
Yeah, I'll go back. Final thought. I'll go back to something I said earlier. Find out what, so you know what to double down on. And it's not just you have to really understand it. Like if you look at if I try to answer what makes me happy, pretty quick, like you say, it's running a business, it's making money, it's momentum, and those things happen to help me achieve momentum. So focus down on that, and the question is, what the fuck makes you happy?
Let's go. Absolutely love it, man. Well, listen, I'm grateful that you came on, but I'm more grateful that your partner is the female version of me. So now I know that we're connected for a really long time on that.
I was gonna make a joke. Imagine you and her being together, bro. Like it would be like you'll both be living in like rainbows.
Are you going to any events? Like, are you going to NFT NYC or
so
do you do any events or?
I'm invited to speak there, but I've cancelled a lot of events already. I'll probably cancel more. NFT NYC's, I probably will cancel. I can't be fucked.
All right. Well, maybe one day we'll meet and I can meet her and it'll be just a happiness overload. But no, I appreciate you coming on, Mario. This is Hyped Happy Hour episode 34 with Mario Nawfal. Everybody have a good day and we'll see you next time.